This is John Okoro. Welcome to the week's Auspicious Agile video blog. This week we're going to be taking a look at distributed agile leadership and a article I recently published along with my team, Distributed Agile team, on InfoQ, and also our mini book, we also published on InfoQ recently as well. The article we'll focus on today focuses on distributed agile leadership in teams and agile teams and some of the trends and some of the things that are key questions and virtues and practices from our approach. And we'll also point you in the comments to the article and the mini book and the soon to be released ebook, full ebook, which will include the leadership section as well. So with that said, let's get into some of the trends that we're seeing in leadership today from an agile context. And first of all, we have what we call the shift to teal. Now this comes from Frederick Laloux and Reinventing Organizations. The shift to teal is basically this idea that there's an evolving set of organizations, the way that they've been and the way that they are moving. And the first one, he uses colors to code these. One is basically red. It's the first one. It's impulsive. It's a division of labor. It's top-down authority, kind of like a street gang or the mob. Basically, the boss tells the way, and it's done by strength, and that's it. Now, the amber, he calls it, is next. This is more traditional. So you can think of this as replicable processes, stable organization chart that doesn't really change very much, something like the Army or the Catholic Church that is going to have a very set and clear organization. Next comes achievement-based, or orange organizations, he calls them, and innovation is a key of these, along with accountability and meritocracy. So you have your KPIs, you get rewarded or punished depending on whether you meet these things, and it's all like multinational companies and investment banks would operate in this way. Now next you have this pluralist idea he calls green, which is empowerment, values-driven culture, stakeholder value, and the idea, you'll see a lot of agile teams might operate this way, the idea that nobody is necessarily better than anybody else on the team, and that everybody is kind of equal. And then he comes up with this idea he calls teal, which he says is really the latest evolution. And in teal, it's the whole idea of bringing your whole self to the workplace and wholeness in work and being able to kind of thrive in that the whole organization is an organism, and the idea that some people will lead in some cases, other people will lead in other cases. Now, we also have the ideas that come from Cisney, organizational physics, Les Cisney, and he talks about this idea of basically top-down versus bottom-up leadership. So top-down, of course, is our standard org chart and lay out the org chart. Organizations that have more of a bottom-up, it's more the idea that the people are leading it and the teams lead it, and you really don't need management to guide or lead, and it's just going to be the people, kind of a collective, I guess, kind of idea. Now, what Cisney actually says is that actually neither one of these is really the way that a lot of innovative companies function. The way that they really function, and you can take a look at his website and book, Organizational Physics, but the idea is that basically they are what he calls design-centric. So a system is set up by the leaders that allows people to thrive and to work in fairly autonomously. And he gives an example. One was the Gulf War General McChrystal, who had set up his forces to be able to respond very quickly, and he set them up in these design-centric kind of a structure where they were more like Delta Force or Special Operations Force type, instead of going to a structure to get instructions. Now, another trend, which I'm a really big fan of, is Modern Agile. You can check out the Auspicious Agile blog on that topic as well. And we talk about make people awesome, deliver value continuously, make safety a prerequisite. Really important, making safety a prerequisite. People don't think they're going to be punished for everything they do if they make a mistake. And experiment and learn rapidly. And this is really Agile being applied in all areas of business and not just in the technology area. So it's a great application for leadership as well. Now, there are a couple honorable mentions I'm also going to give here. Honorable mentions because I didn't really go deeply into these. I did take a brief look at them, but I do suggest if you're interested that you take a look. And one of them is Management 3.0, which has become quite popular recently. And the idea basically is a method for managing agile teams. So in Management 3.0, we're looking at different approaches and techniques, a book by Jürgen Appello, about how you would manage in agile teams in a way that really works for those agile teams versus in some traditional ways that don't work. Another one is holacracy. Now, holacracy is the idea of basically having autonomous yet symbiotic teams that are able to accomplish tasks and company goals. So another one to take a look at. You can check that out. Also been becoming quite popular and has a lot of interest around it. Now, let's get into the article that we published recently on leadership in InfoQ. So read all about it. And the article is about distributed agile leadership, distributed agile teams. And what we published there, myself, our team, and Shane, we basically put out about from our framework and the InfoQ mini book, which you can also find links to below, although the leadership content is not included there. It will be in the full ebook we'll be publishing shortly. And it has questions that you should think about for your distributed agile team. It also talks about different virtues and practices. So let's look at a few of these, and you can read the article to find out more. So in terms of virtues, is there common leadership team and structure across different team locations? Do agile teams trust their organizational leaders and believe they say what they mean and mean what they say? And do distributed agile teams feel safe to make mistakes and learn from them? This is the idea, is making safety a prerequisite. So are they safe? And this is a question that comes up a lot in a lot of teams that I've seen and work with where people really don't necessarily feel safe to make a mistake. And that's really key. Google's one of the stories that they use in Modern Agile to talk about making safety a prerequisite. Now the virtues. Some of the virtues we look at are empowerment, motivating people to self-organize and to take decisions. Servant leadership, mentor and coach instead of controlling teams. And growth mindset instead of fixed mindset, the ability to lead a distributed agile team and empower the teams to continuously learn. And again, you can check out the Auspicious Agile video blog on growth mindset if you want to check that out, and also the book by Carol Dweck as well. And then the practices, we take a look at some of these as well. So some practices for distributed agile leadership and teams, casting clear organizational and product vision for agile teams. So the teams can enjoy a high level of alignment and autonomy, something that Nyberg talked about in a conference a few years back. Funding and allocating budgets to distributed agile teams to spend on their product backlogs, so they have the ability to prioritize and spend. And managing when there are multiple product owners across locations using product management groups or chief product owner and delegate product owner structure to align. And that alignment is so key and so important. So as always, if you enjoy Auspicious Agile, please subscribe, like, and share, and also hit the alert button so you can get alerts, a little bell below. And you can support Auspicious Agile on Patreon, and supporting there, you can also get an early release version of our full ebook, which is coming out soon, as well as you can support on Amazon. You can find the links for those below as well, and appreciate your support and your subscribing to Auspicious Agile. So as always, I hope there's some good ideas and interesting things for you to look into and learn more about agile leadership and distributed agile team leadership. And check out our article and ebook as well, the mini book on InfoQ. And until next time, stay agile, and thanks for listening.